Hey you guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel, Peterisms, where I tell stories of my life and just little things that I have learned as I have grown into the person that I am today. Did you guys have a nice weekend? Oh my god, I had such a nice weekend. Got to hang out with my husband and my dog all weekend long, and took a lot of naps and rested a lot. Finished a book, started a book, had the book club, watched a lot of shows. I had such a great weekend. The weather was beautiful in Indianapolis this weekend. So happy Monday, start of another great week. Let's get into reading some meditations today. So today is May 20th, and I brought the Melody Baby meditations with me today. So let's see what Melody has to say to us today. This is from the language of letting go. No idea. Let's go in here and see what the meditation is for today. I have the last couple ones to read too, in case today's is not something that is speaking to me. Sadness, it said, solving problems is, okay, how long is this sadness one? Oh, it's not too bad. Let's read about sadness, shall we? Something I think that we all experience from time to time. Sadness, May 20th. Ultimately, to grieve our losses means to surrender to our feelings. So many of us have lost so much, have said so many goodbyes, have been through so many changes. We may want to hold back the tides of change, not because the change isn't good, but because we have had so much change, so much loss. Wow. Sometimes when we are in the midst of pain and grief, we become short-sighted, like members of a tribe described in the movie Out of Africa. If you put them in prison, one character said, describing this tribe, they die. Why? Asked another character. Because they can't grasp the idea that they'll be let out one day. They think it's permanent, so they die. Many of us have so much grief to get through. Sometimes we begin to believe grief or pain is a permanent condition. The pain will stop. Once felt and released, our feelings will bring us to a better place than where we started. Feeling our feelings instead of denying or minimizing them is how we heal from our past and move forward into a better future. Feeling our feelings is how we let go. This is a powerful meditation. It may hurt for a moment, but peace and acceptance are on the other side. So is a new beginning. God, help me fully embrace and finish my endings so I may be ready for new beginnings. I really, really love this meditation. I think if not just for reminding us that it's okay to feel sad. You know, like I think, you know, when you think about feelings like happiness, joy, sadness, anger, I think we immediately go to good feelings, bad feelings. I think many of us do. I have in my life, right? That like anger, sadness, things like that, those are like bad feelings. Happiness, joy, those are like good, excitement, those are like good feelings, right? When the reality is there is no good or bad with feelings. Feelings are just feelings. It's what we're feeling at the moment. It's our emotions. It's what we're emotionally going through at that moment. And I think this meditation is important because I think it's important to remind ourselves that we have a right to feel sad at times. I think it's actually good to feel sad at times, you know? It's good to, you know, go through the process of, like it said in the meditation, grieving the loss in your life. I just got done in therapy doing this trauma narrative, you know? And the trauma narrative was over the accident, and it was so hard to do. Like, each week, I just felt like I was, like, walking through, like, you know, quicksand. It was I just felt like I was sinking lower and lower and lower. And this is when I talk about like moving through the pain, this is the idea of moving through the pain, right? It's acknowledging all of the feelings, the remorse, the guilt, the sadness, the uncertainty, the confusion, like identifying all of the feelings, working through all the feelings. Working through, well, this person was very supportive of me and I didn't feel like I had any support from this person. Or working through all the fear that I had in that situation. Well, it would actually be really helpful to do that in all of the major things that I've gone through in my life, from losing my mother and even getting sober, which was a positive thing in my life. I grieved a lot when I got sober of my old life. There were parts of my old life that I missed. I think that's why a lot of people relapse. I don't think a lot of people relapse just because they're craving drugs and alcohol. I think a lot of people relapse because they miss the camaraderie with drinking or using with friends, or their spouse continues to use and they don't. They want to be, it's like if you can't beat them, join them. Or they miss just the running after it, you know, the chase of the drug and things like that, the romanticizing of all of it, the feeling of sitting on a beach with a drink in your hand. It's not always just about the drink or the drug, right? Sometimes it's about the culture of it around it. And so I grieved the loss of a lot of that, you know? And I think, like, the sadness that comes from all the things of like being bullied when I was growing up, to, you know, not having a lot of friends, to then like my mom's passing, to my aunt and uncle's passing, to many of my friends passing and things like that. All that loss, I think that in our society, it's kind of this unwritten rule that to move through that and to not show pain, to not show sadness is a strength. When I actually believe, I feel in my heart and I believe that working through the pain, allowing yourself to feel sad, to feel moved. You know, I had a friend of mine years ago, I've shared this on here before, that would say, if I can't cry about it, it means it never meant something to me to begin with. Well, you don't have to cry necessarily, but to feel something on a deep level about somebody or something that you went through, right? I think when you move through that and you allow yourself to really grieve and feel the pain that was associated with it, and on some days that might mean saying, I'm sad today. I'm sad. I'm not doing well. I'm struggling today. I think to say that, right, is honest and fair and appropriate at times. I just don't want to stay stuck in that all the time. I don't want to stay stuck in this perpetual state of sadness or misery or pain, which is why I choose to continue to do the work to move through it. That's important to me, right? Because I don't want to stay sad for my entire life. I want to live in gratitude. I want to be happy, joyous, and free. I want to live with excitement and happiness in my heart. Sadness doesn't feel good, right? But sadness is an indicator of what's going on with us in response to what we've gone through. And I think that we are a society where we push that away. It's like, don't be sad. We say to people, don't be sad. Don't cry. Why not? What's wrong with crying? What's wrong with being sad? When something that you have gone through makes you sad, it's okay to be sad about that. When your pet passes away or is sick, it's okay to be sad. When you lose somebody in your life, okay, by either they pass away or you have an argument, they're no longer in your life, or you break up, it's okay to be sad. If you didn't get a job you wanted, it's okay to be sad. If you didn't get into some school program that you wanted to get into when you're in college or graduate school, it's okay to be sad. If you didn't get invited to something and all your other friends got invited to it, it's okay to be sad. If you woke up today and the heaviness of the world around you is just bringing you down, it's okay to be sad. And all of those things I've experienced. If you're listening to a song and the words make you sad because they remind you of something you've gone through, if you're watching a TV show or a movie and something that is being represented makes you sad because you've gone through something, or just something that's happening in the show, or just some lyric moves you in some way, it's okay to be sad. We're so afraid to share our feelings authentically because we're afraid of what other people will think about it. I don't give a shit what other people think about it. If I'm sad, I'm going to be sad. If I'm going to cry, I'm going to cry. What other people think about it is none of my business. You know? I have cried consistently for 7 years, 8 years almost on video now, right? My first year of my vlog, I cried consistently about losing my mother. Shared all these stories of my mother. The first year or two, I talked about it. I cried and cried and cried. It was so cathartic for me. I hadn't talked about my mom or shared some of those stories for years until I started that vlog. It was so cathartic. It was so helpful to me, right? And yet there was still people that will say, oh, he cries all the time in video. I don't care. You have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with it. To have a problem with it. I'm going to continue to feel my feelings authentically. I'm going to continue to move through. I'm going to experience all the feelings. Joy and pain. Happiness and sadness. Gain and loss. I'm going to feel all of it. Because that's what life is about. I don't want to miss out on any of it. I don't want to deny myself some response to something or not really feel it fully because it's not appropriate to other people out there around me, or that somebody might think, oh, a man doesn't cry, or you shouldn't be sad, or that there's something like when people come up to you, have you ever had somebody say to you, don't be sad, don't cry? Why not? Maybe I feel like crying right now. Maybe I'm upset. Maybe I'm angry. Maybe I'm sad. It's okay. People don't know what to do with that. They don't know what to do with you when you're sad. Oh, okay. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Maybe it's not going to be okay. Or maybe it will, but it won't be okay for a very long time. I'm a believer that it's going to be okay. I say it in my videos to people. I'm a believer that things are going to get better and the sun's going to shine again, right? But that patting on my, oh, it's going to be okay. What? You're just trying to, like, get me out. You don't want me sad for you. That's what people have an issue with, okay? They don't want us sad or feeling appropriate emotions for them because they don't know what to do with it and it's uncomfortable with them. Well, that's their stuff, not mine. The reason why I know that everything's going to be okay and that eventually things are going to get better is because I feel my feelings. I feel my pain. I'm not afraid to. I'm not afraid to show that. I'm not afraid to feel every authentic feeling that I'm feeling. And if somebody has an issue with it, then that's their issue, not mine. And you know what? Going through that has allowed me to be okay on the other side, and you will be too. So don't let anybody tell you that you're too much, or you shouldn't cry, or settle it down, or quiet down like I was talking about in my video the other day, or don't cry, or it's going to be okay. That's for them. They're trying to be nice. They are. When somebody says, it's going to be okay, they're trying to be nice. But it's also okay to say, I know it's going to be okay, but right now, I need to cry. Right now, I need to feel this. When my mom passed away, one of the things I learned, one of the little tools I learned from my toolbox was that when I would like hear sad music, I'd take a moment and I'd just stop. Like, if it, not sad music, but when I would hear a song that reminded me of my mom, like Bob Dylan or something like that, I would like pull, you know, if I was driving, I would pull over back when I was driving, or, you know, if it was around the house, I would just stop and I'd sit for a second and I'd just think about my mom and what that song reminded me of. And I'd allow myself that moment to cry and be in it in that moment. And sometimes I'd even look at the clock and be like, okay, well, I'll sit here for 5 or 10 minutes, and then I'm gonna allow myself to feel every feeling in the world, and then I'm gonna go on with my day and be grateful for what I've given. And if tomorrow I need to feel it for another 5 or 10 minutes or an hour, I'm gonna allow myself that time. Because it's okay to feel feelings. Don't let anybody tell you that it's not. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section below. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.